Welcome to Youth Baseball Talk with Gabriel and Chris.
Today's guest is Rudy Esquivel of the EAB Elite Athletic Baseball.
Thank you for joining us today. How long have you been with EAB for?
It's been about a month now, but been enjoying the process so far.
Oh, so you're brand new, huh?
Brand new.
So have you started any practices yet or anything?
We've run a couple practices, and we actually done a couple of camps with Adam,
Okay.
and it's been interesting.
Who is
Taught me a
Adam?
lot. Adam is the owner of the organization.
All right.
So
Cool, man. Well, welcome to a new organization, man.
Oh yes, definitely.
How many teams do y'all have in the organization?
I'm not quite sure, but I know we do have 8, 9, 10, 11. But I know he goes all the way up to like high school.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I seen that. He did post.
he's always out there. He's on Instagram, man. You can follow
Yeah.
him, but he's always out there.
And y'all are based out of Arlington or Grand Prairie?
Arlington, Grand Prairie, just
Okay.
any area, close by.
So what made you get into coaching?
Honestly, they pretty much, my cousin asked me one day, he's like, hey, do you want to help me coach my kids' baseball team? And I was like, yeah. And that was like 12 years ago. I was like, yeah. He knew I knew baseball. So I was like, let me jump in here. And then, long story short, he kind of ended up leaving out of town and left me with the team. So there I was coaching 3-4-year-olds and not even knowing how to, deal with the kid because I didn't have one of my own at the time. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, what do you do with 3 and 4-year-olds? Make them run. You try to punish them, start making them run, and then they ask you, hey, can I run too? Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Fine.
Okay, well, yeah. I was like, apparently running's not punishment for 3 and 4-year-olds.
No, man, they like
Not till
that
they
stuff.
get older.
You're
So,
chasing each other on the field.
yeah, so then you have to try to figure out something else what to do. So, but no, it was interesting.
So what
So-
keeps you going in coaching now?
Man, now it's just, the development of the kids, watching them, going from one year to the next year, at the end of one year, you're like, man, I don't know if they're ready for that next year. And then every year, man, they prove you wrong. They show up, they develop, they can catch now, they can throw, and like, man, they're getting big. Uniform sizes, they're starting to turn to adult sizes now. And it's
Yeah.
like,
It
man,
just
you were
gets better, man.
Yeah, it's like youth small, youth medium, adult small, and then, extra, extra large. Soon we're probably have to start getting them custom made.
Yeah.
I got a couple of big boys
Man.
on my team.
And what
so
age group do you coach again?
I coach 8U.
8U, and you
Yeah.
got some big boys going up there,
Yeah. Yeah, my son, he's 4 or 5 right now, about
Oh,
60
wow.
pounds. So
huh?
he's up there, man.
Man, so let me ask you, what are your coaching goals for not just this season, but in general?
My coaching goals are always to develop the kids. Fundamentals is my main focus, making sure the kids know how to catch a ball.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to throw a ball. What I really don't like is just letting the kid repeat doing the wrong thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
I see them do it one time, try to fix it, and then, making sure that they're always ready for the next level, because you never know what's going to come up. If I leave one year or I'm just not able to do it again, I want to make sure the kids are always ready for that next step, that next age,
Yeah,
they're
you
going.
don't want them asking the parent, "Who's your coach?"
Yeah, exactly. Or, like, oh, who was your coach last year? Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
No,
Yeah, I don't want that one.
I hear that, man.
I mean, it's always, just making sure that they're always on the right track. And, that's
For
my
sure.
main thing, and like I said, every year, just seeing them develop and grow each year, it's interesting. That's what keeps me going.
So where do you get your skills from? Like your training sessions? Like, do you reach out to other coaches like, hey, what are you doing to help the kids?
So what I try to do, especially at practices, I always try to have different groups, one with the outfield, one with the infield, and one with catcher and pitcher. Um, and that's basically what I try to do. And then, I mean, I'll ask the coaches, hey, whatever you want to do out there, you go do that. And we'll put it all together at the end. I'm never, that one guy, that one coach that's like, no, it's going to be my way only.
Mm-hmm.
You teach them this, how we're going to do it. So it's kind of like whoever my coaches are, we're all going to put in our input. We're all going to, kind of run practice all together, see what works, see what doesn't work. And then that's kind of how I see coaching as a whole. You just got to see what works, what doesn't work, and, roll with it. Starts going good. Keep going
Just
with
keep
it.
going, man.
Yep.
How many tournaments are you looking to play this upcoming season?
I would say, I think it's about 10 because it's like every other weekend,
Okay, wow.
Yeah, it's we
You are
try to
get-
keep the boys busy.
You are
so,
getting after it,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah, this this past season, that's what we try to do. We try to do every other weekend, but again, 7, 8-year-olds, they get kind of bored real fast.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that they, we don't burn them out, especially with Texas heat.
Right.
Mhm.
That's what they remember next time when you tell them, "Hey, we got a tournament again."
I don't
Oh
wanna
man,
play,
Man,
it's
it's
hot.
yeah, yeah. That's why you got to keep it fun.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for
The grill
sure.
out the hot dogs and hamburgers. They're like, "Oh yeah, tournament, let's go."
Yeah.
Let's go, yep.
So,
Cookout. Get to be with my friends.
Eh
So do y'all do a lot of traveling?
well, this past season we didn't just because I had a fresh team. I kind of wanted to keep everything nearby. I didn't want to start, hitting the parents with, traveling fees and hey,
Yeah.
I know you just joined, but it's going to be this and this and this to start traveling. So we wanted to get them the experience of tournaments, how much it's going to be and everything like
Mhm.
that. Getting them used to the whole, we might be out here for 8 hours,
Right.
we might be out here for 4. Just kind of get them that toe in the water kind of thing and like see how it is, give them the experience. So that way they're not scared when we tell them, hey, we're going to San Antonio and
Yeah.
they have no idea what we're about to do. So,
Yeah.
And just to get in back a few questions. What's your coaching style? Like, what would a kid expect from you as a coach?
I'm really down to earth. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and just yell at a kid until he gets it. I'm pretty much open. I explain how I coach or why I want them to do something. So that way, hopefully, they get the understanding of, okay, well, coach is telling me to do this because of this, not just, hey, you do this because I'm yelling at you. You have to do it. So, I mean, the kids, I mean, I think they like it. They love it. They listen. They respond well. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to change anything right now because I haven't seen anything um, that I need to change. So, I mean, but like I said, I'm always willing to listen to other coaches and be like, hey, there's something we need to do. There's something I need to change. Something, always looking to better myself as a
Right.
coach, of course.
That's
That's
good,
great.
man. That's good. So, what's the most difficult part of being a youth baseball coach?
I would say the butterfly kids. The butterfly kids are the ones that, they see a butterfly in the outfield and they start paying attention to the butterfly.
Picking
Yeah.
flowers
Yeah.
out there too?
Yeah, trying to keep them interested, the whole time, especially at a young age when the kids are barely starting to hit to the outfield. The
Right.
outfielders, they're not getting a ball every time, so they tend to kind of fade away, and just trying to keep them interested is the hardest thing. But I always try to tell them too. Some of the highest paid baseball players are outfielders, and there's a reason why.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're very important to the team. So, I try to tell them, it might not be, every ball hit to you, but that one ball that's going to be hit to you and you're going to miss is the one that they're going to remember.
Oh, yeah.
I
Mhm.
was like, so, or, the one ball that they hit to you and then you catch it. I was like, nobody's going to remember that 5 catches that third base made. They're going to remember that one pop fly
That
at the
one
fence that
drop.
center fielder, caught it or, missed it. So,
So you say you try to find a ways to keep them interested. Do you switch them out in positions or?
I try to switch them out in positions, but the main focus on me is trying to get the kid really comfortable with that position. But what I try to do is keeping them interested. Sometimes, like I said, at this young age, you have to try to make it fun. So trying to do some games, pop up drills, just make a game out of it. Put that fun back into it, so where they kind of stay engaged and they are interested in playing outfield. That oh man, the infield gets all the fun, and they're the only ones that get the ball. They're the only ones that play games. So being able to mix it up is always a good thing for me.
Oh, yeah, that's good, man. Are y'all you said 9U?
AU.
8U, so is
Yeah.
that still coach pitch
That's
or
that's still gonna be coach pitch. Next
okay,
year, we'll go to 9U, or not next year, but the
the
following,
following
yeah, the
season?
following season.
Yeah, I used to say year all the time, and they're like, "Well, there's 2 seasons in a year." I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
"Man,
Yeah.
whatever."
Well, spring will still be 8U, and
Okay.
then we'll continue 8U, and then probably in the fall, we'll start trying to do some 9U and, see how that works. Because like I said, whenever I had my son going from T-ball to coach pitch, I'm like, "Man, are they ready? Are they ready?"
Yeah.
And then you start throwing to them, and all of a sudden they're smacking the ball. You're like, "Oh, man, he's ready. Okay, cool. Let's go."
Oh, yeah, for sure,
So,
man.
yeah, I know the biggest thing is probably gonna be trying to get them used to, because the kid's either gonna hit him or, it's gonna be a strike. So getting the
Yep.
kids ready for that, hit or miss kind of thing, that's probably gonna be our biggest challenge right there. So
Oh, yeah, man, for sure.
So what do you find the most difficult part of coaching it?
I can't really say there's any, specific thing. I mean, I love it. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it.
Yeah.
You know, um, I would I mean, besides, some of the off field things. I mean, that was about it. The parents and the
Mhm.
outskirts and everything. I mean, not necessarily mine. I mean, my parents, I got good parents, But I always try to tell them before the game, hey, there's something on the field. Don't start yelling at the umpire. That's not going to do nothing.
Right.
Let me deal with it and this and this. But I would say, parents that we ran into, they can ruin the
Oh,
game.
for
I mean,
sure.
even, I seen it on other teams, the parent that's going to coach their kid from outside the fence, ain't going to help at practice, but he's yelling at them, come game time,
Yeah.
it's,
Dang it. No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, you can't coach
Hey,
them at
he's feeling
games. So.
self-conscious about
God,
that
dog
one.
it.
He was like,
I'm
man, is
scratching
he
my
talking
head
to me?
like,
Caught
Did
you
you
out.
pay him to say that?
does he know? How does he know me, man?
Yeah. I mean, and then it gets worse because then you get the ones that they don't have no baseball experience. They
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
played baseball. They don't know nothing about baseball, and they're trying to tell their son, you got to swing up, or throw it from down here, like do that.
You hear parents, I know you love your kids, but let the coaches coach. That's the reason you put them on the team. You know what I mean? It's the reason you're not coaching.
Yep.
But so going back, you're brand new to this organization. So last season, how many tournaments did you do with your squad?
Well, actually, I just had them this March.
Oh, okay.
So we've, I know we've done 2 World Series, and we did about 4 or 5 tournaments
Okay.
alone. So
That's enough for
yeah, because like I said,
for
this was
newbies.
this was a brand new team. We got them into tournaments, or we got them in the league first, the Grand Prairie League,
Okay.
just to kind of see how we would do it.
Were you
And,
just an independent team? Just so,
yeah, I ended up leaving my old team that
Okay.
my son was on. We left them, and then I just started my own team. I just grabbed
Gotcha.
13 kids and hey, let's roll with it.
Sweet.
See what's gonna happen.
So did you take those 13 kids that you had last season and bringing them to this new organization?
Yes, most of them.
Most of 'em?
Yeah, unfortunately, I did have to make some cuts.
Right.
It's just that's
It is part of
what
baseball. It
Yeah,
is
it's
what
part
it
of
is,
baseball.
man.
It's a business.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I love every kid I've ever coached. And it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
With the parents or with the kid. It's just unfortunately, it is what it is. They just weren't at the level that we were needing them at that
Right.
time to make sure that we're all comfortable with me putting them out there, one,
Oh, yeah.
and then him making sure that he can make the plays and he's not going to feel bad later on, knowing he struck out
Yep.
or he cost the team the game or anything like that. So
So what World Series did y'all do?
we did the Rec World Series in the
Okay.
Colony.
In the Colony.
and,
That's a good
yeah,
one.
And then we finished I think second in that one.
Nice.
And then the other one I think was also in the Colony,
Okay.
and I can't remember.
That's a drive
Yeah, we
for
did
y'all
feel
from Grand Prairie to
Oh yeah,
the
definitely,
Colony.
definitely. Yeah, we had some parents that drove from Fort Worth and
Oh,
that
wow.
drove from like I think an hour and 30 minutes away. So yeah, those were the real ones that I mean, yeah, I could be like, oh man, I drive 40 minutes, but hey, it wasn't an hour and 30 drive, especially
Right.
that 8 a.m. game.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. We know all
yeah.
about that. So do you have any do you have your tournament set up for the season coming up?
Not yet, especially with just joining the Elite Athletics Baseball.
Mhm.
It's just kind of where they're gonna go. We're just gonna kind of follow.
Oh, so you're just gonna follow their schedule pretty much?
Which it's easier. We're not sitting there looking for days and days for tournaments,
Ooh,
and then
that helps you
yeah,
out, man.
yeah, Adams will be like, hey, we're gonna play this tournament. All right, let's go.
All right, count
Let's
us
go.
in.
Yep.
That
Let's go.
helps out a lot, man.
Oh yeah, big time.
So what made you choose the EAB?
They reached out to me while we were in Grand Prairie. They practiced there, and we had one of our games there, and then they just kind of got a number from one of the parents, and then we talked about it, and I wanted to know what what their organization was all about, what they were looking for, what they were wanting to do. I wanted to make sure it was the right fit for me and my kids. It wasn't just one, hey, we're going to go in here and try to win as many rings as we can, by switching kids in and out, and then, we talked to him. He's like, no, we develop the kids at a young age. We, stick with them and this and this. And that's kind of what I wanted to hear, because that's what, I try to do is I try to stick with the kids that, I can feel comfortable, putting on the field, and I know they're going to learn. I know they're going to, play, they're going to give it all, their all. And I mean, that's kind of what made me want to go with him was, he kind of said all the right things.
Yeah.
We're going to develop the kids. We're going to do this. We got camps. We got this. We got this. And, only being by myself, it's kind of hard for me to try to do camps and try
Oh,
to
yeah.
do practice, try to, develop the kids pitching. We're going to go to 90 next year. So, it's just, we were kind of on the same page, what we wanted from the kids. And I mean, that's kind of what made me go with them.
That's always good when you find an organization or a person
It
that
the same
has the
values
same
as you.
exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen a couple organizations out there. I mean, they have reached out to me, and it wasn't the right fit. It's just some of the things that they wanted. It wasn't in the kid's best interest. So I mean, because I could have easily went and just be like, yeah, okay, and then he could be like, hey, but you got to cut these 6 kids, and I got 5 kids for you,
Right.
and then I could be like, hey, whatever's gonna, do it for me, whatever gets me in this organization, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But I mean, that is just, I was, it's never, I mean, because I'm never gonna get paid for it. I'm not, gonna get anything extra out of it. So, whatever I could do to, get these kids in the best spot I can,
That's
for
good,
their
man.
future, I'm always willing to.
That's good. Well, there's one step you're missing right now, but is worrying about pitcher rotations.
Yeah.
But have you started working with any of your kids or your son on pitching yet?
Yeah, growing up, I was a pitcher. I was a
Okay.
big pitcher at that, and my grandpa, he was a pitcher also.
Nice.
So, I come from a pitching family, and I started working with them. And again, I kind of doubted, is he ready for it?
Yeah.
And I got him to throw me some, and strikes almost every
It's
time. I'm
best
like,
to
man,
start them super early.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
then,
not throwing their arm out, but just start
yeah,
teaching them the formation and
yeah,
everything. So that's why I thought I'd
yeah.
ask if you're already in that process, because the earlier they know, the better they'll be.
Yeah, because I was worried about it. I mean, especially throwing my arm out at a
Mhm.
young age. They weren't concerned about pitch count back then. They're just like,
Come
"What?"
on, kid, you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah.
he's about 100. Going on about 150, but they're like
Yeah.
close enough, rounded down.
Close
So,
enough.
yeah, and then but that was one of my biggest fears is me not or being able to make sure that he takes care of his arm and everything. But now, being able to join Elite Athletes Baseball, I'm able to, get with them and see, hey, what kind of training do y'all do?
Mhm.
Who can develop them the best way they can. I mean, because, I'm old school. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, this is what we do, go throw a medicine ball, go do this,
Yeah.
do it. And stuff changes, in 20 years. So,
Oh yeah. Well,
and
that's good also that he has those high school kids. That way your little guys can go up and watch those high schoolers play
yeah,
that are I saw he just posted a whole bunch of pictures of a lot of his kids,
yeah,
signing into to school,
yeah.
colleges, and I was like,
And
wow,
actually,
he had a lot.
yeah, this last practice, he actually brought out one of the kids from college.
Mhm.
So whenever they're not in college, sometimes they come and help the
Oh,
boys
see,
at
that's
camps
cool.
and practices and stuff like that. So that way, hopefully they're just not like, oh, coach, this old man sitting there telling me what to do.
Right.
They see this young guy, like doing it, and of course, he's like 20 times faster than we are. So
Exactly.
catching it and doing it, like, oh man, that could be us one day. Like, yeah, man, that can be you. Going off to college,
Yeah.
doing that, doing it perfect, scooping it up, throwing it hard. That could be you.
Yeah, and this is what I
Keep
tell
working.
any kids, all the hype's about a D1 school. I'm like, dude, any scholarship you get to go play baseball for school,
Yeah,
take
yeah,
what you get, man. And and it was just cool seeing all those photos of him posting about all these schools that he had different kids going to, and I'm like, all right, that's
yeah.
cool.
And then that was kind of another thing to jump back to your question about what made me want to pick the organization is I mean he the kid that came or the guy that came out I can say kid, I'm way older than him, but the kid that came out he coached him since he was 6 years old. So
Oh
knowing
wow.
that he's gonna stick with the kid from 6 years old, which about my kid's age, my
Hmm.
kids are a little bit older, but that he's gonna sit there and stick with the kid from 6 years old to all the way he's in college. Still calling him back, still teaching him stuff, still providing them with help, and then keeping him busy during the summer. That way he don't making sure that these kids don't get into the wrong thing.
Oh yeah.
Always it's always good to keep them busy, especially if it's being able to help out little kids. It's always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do any of your players play any other sports outside or not? Let me change it. Do any of your Sorry, does your son play any other sport outside of baseball?
No, he wants to. He wants to play basketball, but
Put him in it.
unfortunately, it's kind of interferes with the baseball, like towards the end.
Yeah.
During the winter, I mean, if it's available, we'll put him in there. I'm never scared. He's not going to play soccer.
Yeah.
He's a big boy, so
Got you.
running is not one of his
I'm in
things.
your boat right now. My son wanted me to put a basketball team together, and I started looking at the schedule. I'm like, man, I forgot it's going to interfere with baseball. It's going to be super
Yeah,
hard because they play on the weekends. And I was like, I'm not running around, and I know your mom's not going to want to run around, and
yeah,
from who knows where we'll be that weekend.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
but it's
and
always good off season. Put them in something.
yeah, and then I mean, my kids are they have a hard time running in football or baseball helmets. There's no way they're gonna run in football pads. So I'm like, dude, y'all are crying with baseball hats on. Y'all ain't gonna run in football pads. I was like, trust me, I've done football. Y'all
Yeah.
ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, I won't like it at all.
Yep.
So what tournaments are y'all looking forward to playing this
Right.
upcoming season?
I mean, right now, I would just say any of them.
Any of 'em.
Being able to get in there and just making sure we get the the competitiveness ready and making showing the kids, hey, these ain't you. I know it might be some of the same teams we play, but then there's some teams they don't move up just because they the age
Right.
requirements work out, and they can be like, oh, we get some rings out of it. So just showing them like, hey, this ain't you. We got to step it up a little bit more. And I mean, anything we get in right now, that they're going to join too, and hey, we're going to be there. So
Perfect. All right, Coach. Well, thanks for talking with us and coming in. We
Oh.
appreciate it.
Hold
Yeah,
on, I
no
just got one more question.
Oh,
What's up? What's
Yeah,
up?
I
there's one more
started too
question.
soon. My
Yeah,
bad.
what's
Yeah,
Go
hold
ahead,
on,
Chris.
Hold on, bring it back.
Yeah. Yes.
So, you said earlier that you had to cut some of your kids.
Mhm.
Are you doing open tryouts, or you having kids
Um,
coming in, or
Well, right now we have 10 kids. I mean, we are open to tryouts. Unfortunately, we are just looking for certain positions.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you can always contact me on Facebook through the EAB or the Elite Athletes Baseball. You can contact Adam, or you could contact myself. We're on Facebook, and he's on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, so you can always contact us. Reach out to us. If you're looking for your kid for a new team, please reach out to me. Um, Other than that, I mean, just please make sure, they played baseball before. This
Yeah.
is not a beginner baseball team.
Yeah.
We've had some kids come out and, they're like, oh, they played T-ball, 3-4 years ago. And, unfortunately, I had to have that unfortunate talk with the parents, and, we unfortunately, we just can't take anybody at this time.
Yeah.
We got to have tryouts for certain positions. And if, the kid fits, I'm always willing to, give them a shot, start work with them and everything like that. So,
okay?
Perfect.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll put your information up there. And is there anything else you'd like to touch on or talk about?
no, good with that.
All right. Well,
No.
Rudy, thanks for coming out.
Yeah,
No
thanks,
problem,
Rudy.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.